Good morning, student. Today we will start with chapter 1 in physics, named Physical Quantities and Measurement. See, this is your first chapter in your physics and name is physical quantity. So we will start with physical quantity. See, physics is a subject which deal with physical quantities. Now, what do you mean by physical quantities? All those quantities which you can measure are known as physical quantities. So all measurable quantities are physical quantities, and physics is a subject which deals with physical quantities. Quantities which you cannot measure are not physical quantities. Okay. Now, physical quantities get divided into two parts. What are they? Fundamental quantity and derived quantity. First, fundamental quantity. Fundamental quantities are those quantities which are independent in nature. They do not depend on any other quantities for their formation. They are independent in nature, like length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, luminous intensity, amount of substance, angle, solid angle. They are fixed in number. And the second is your derived quantity. Derived quantities are those quantities which depends on fundamental quantity for their formation. They are dependent quantity. They are not independent quantity. They are dependent quantity and they depends on fundamental quantity for their formation. They depends on two derived quantities for their formation. So what I mean to say is two fundamentals can make one derived quantity. One fundamental and derived can make one derived quantity, and two derived can also make a derived quantity. So, derived quantities are those quantities which are dependent in nature and they depend on other quantities for their formation. I am giving a revision. Fundamental quantities, derived quantities are the two parts of physical quantity. Physical quantities get divided into two parts. Fundamental quantity, derived quantities. Fundamental quantities are those quantities which are independent in nature. They do not depend on any other quantities for their formation. Example, length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, luminous intensity, amount of substance, angle, solid angle. And derived quantities are those quantities which depends on other quantities for their formation. Example, area, volume, density. Why I am taking area, volume, density? There are many more like this, but we are taking area, volume, density because these three are in your syllabus. Now, if I talk about area, the formula of area is length into breadth. So, area depends on length and breadth. So, this is dependent. So, it is a derived quantity. Formula of volume is area into height. Depends upon area and height for the formation. So, it is a derived quantity. Density is equal to mass upon volume. It depends upon mass and volume for the formation. So, it is a derived quantity. Okay. This we will take later on in the upcoming classes. Now, see the formula of physical quantity. Physical quantity is equal to a numeral value into unit. If we attach a unit with any of the number, any of the fixed number, it become a physical quantity because units decides and tells the identity of that particular number, like whether it is of length or it is of mass. That's it for today. We will continue with the area in the upcoming class. Till then, stay home, stay safe, regularly wash your hand. Thank you.
Physical quantities and measurement. Measurement of length. Importance of measurement. We often ask very common questions like, what is the length of this room? How long are you waiting? What is your age? Etc. Study of physics is based on measurement. In physics, we usually learn how to measure quantities that are involved in it. Among these quantities, some are length, mass, time, temperature, pressure, and electric current. Anything which is measurable is called a physical quantity. We measure each physical quantity in its own units by comparing it with a standard. Without measurement, we cannot make the correct judgment about length, area, volume, etc. An arbitrary estimate gives us a wrong information about the dimensions of an object. Example 1. Two lines, XP and YQ, are given below. Look at the two straight lines, XP and YQ, drawn alongside. Which of them is longer? You may guess that YQ appears to be shorter than XP, but when you measure with the help of a ruler, you find that both the lines are equal in length. Thus, we can say that in this case, length is the basic measurement and ruler is the tool needed to measure the length. Fact: in ancient Egypt, water clocks were used to measure time. A container is filled with water and the water is drained slowly. The amount of water dripping from one bowl filled with water to another marked the time passed. Example 2. Two glasses containing milk are given below. In the above figure, two glasses contain milk. It is difficult to guess which glass contains more milk. We can only tell it with the help of measurement. Some other examples.